Mabuhay, Kamustika, welcome. How are you? This is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. What it's like to be married to a beautiful Filipina. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be married to a beautiful woman? Man, if I could, if I ever was, that guy is so lucky. Well, I'll tell you what it's like. Subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea for straight talk about being married to a Filipina, where I delve into many practical issues of day-to-day life being married to a woman from the Philippines. You don't have to agree with me to leave a comment, and don't forget about getting notification by tapping that bell symbol. When I was in grade school, there was a song I remembered playing on the radio by Dr. Hook in the medicine show called When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. I will have a link to that song from the Midnight Special in the description box so you know what I'm talking about. And I do remember that show, and except I thought the guy with the eye patch was doing the singing, but I would be wrong about that. Here are the lyrics. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it's hard. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you know it's hard. Everybody wants her. Everybody loves her. Everybody wants to take your baby home. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you watch your friends. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, it never ends. You know it's crazy. You want to trust her. Then somebody hangs up when you answer the phone. When you're in love with a beautiful woman, you go it alone. Maybe it's just an ego problem. Problem is that I've been fooled before by fair weather friends and faint-hearted lovers, and every time it happens, it just convinces me more. And goes on to say, it never ends. You watch your eyes. There are various considerations when you are aware you are with a beautiful woman, and Filipinas are beautiful women. I do believe that being married to her helps some people back off, as opposed to just dating her and being an item. I want to do this topic justice, so hang on. I will use some of the lyrics from the song to illustrate my points, and there's some good things about being married to a beautiful woman, so this is going to take 2 videos just to keep it at a reasonable length. So one thing to consider is what others think. What it's like being married to a beautiful Filipina is more profound than merely saying, it's great. To start, I'll assume that the marriage is good. What it's like can be influenced by outside factors such as the opinions of others and how they react to you. It is possible you may have friends that are jealous and you won't hear from them as much. You might notice people at work look at you a little differently than usual, or maybe people suddenly know your name or say hello than they did before. Perhaps some family members will indicate that they are uncomfortable with you marrying a beautiful and, by inference, much younger Filipina. Now they are suddenly confronted with people they know asking about your relationship. At worst, you may become the butt of jokes, or some unscrupulous person will try to intrude on your relationship. Another thing that factors in here is, what do you think? What you believe about marrying a younger, pretty Filipina is very important. You know you have done what others may have wanted to do but did not. There's nothing wrong with desiring to marry a younger woman from the Philippines, and you can, but having it work out is a whole different matter, which I labor to shed light on here on Love Beyond the Sea. I strongly recommend not to brag about having a beautiful Filipina. That only serves to fan the flames of criticism or jealousy. It can also make your wife feel like you married her for her beauty alone. And that would hurt her and make it harder for her to love you. Having said that, I wouldn't try to live a secluded life with her, and I am not timid about displaying photos of her and us together, as anyone in my locker room at work knows. Then there is what God thinks, and there is no biblical instructions or rules on getting married, just basic principles that I've outlined in previous videos. You can find in the Young Wife playlist. One of them is for the ages. Age gap with a Filipina is one I will link for you. I only thought about a younger wife when it became evident to me that I would need to look in another country for a wife. I had no shame in looking for my wife because I know of no biblical admonition against it. The main thing is to get married, which I had not been able to do. If wanting to marry a younger, pretty Filipina violates your conscience, then I would hold off on that. What is it like? I hope that anyone who is married is attracted to their wife. That's almost always part of marrying someone. An interesting dynamic, though, for an older Westerner is normally at his age, his wife does not look like this beautiful Filipina. I am nearly 58. Can't believe it. I love looking at my wife. I love admiring her beauty when she sleeps or when she is looking at her phone. I love looking at her hair, her skin, her face. I love looking at her in photos and videos. I love hearing the sound of her voice. I love holding her. To me, she hasn't changed a bit in over 4 years of marriage. Aesthetically, it's great. One time someone suggested to me that a plain woman was better than a good-looking one, ostensibly because other men, would be trying to get the attention of a beautiful woman, get her away from me. And that statement kind of implies that either one automatically makes for a good spouse, but a plain-looking wife doesn't come equipped with maturity necessarily. The looks are wonderful and naturally desired by a man looking for a wife. It doesn't make me feel like I love her more, and over time when her looks change little by little, my love and attraction to her is not going to change. I'll give more detail about this topic, so please watch or listen to part 2 coming up, what it's like being married to a beautiful Filipina, and subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea.